Today's professional athletes are infamous for their financial woes. Whether it's due to poor investments or nasty divorces, these athletes haven't done a proper job at budgeting their finances. Make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out which professional athlete had to file for bankruptcy twice. Before we explore these famous bank accounts, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to The Riches. Now, here are 10 athletes who don't know how to take care of their money. Michael Vick. This former NFL quarterback became the highest-paid professional football player when he signed a $130 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons in 2004. But that extravagant 10-year contract fell apart in 2007 when Vick pleaded guilty to organizing dogfighting rings in multiple states. In July 2008, while serving his prison sentence, he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Although Vick owned $10 million in assets, he owed nearly $18 million. After being released from jail in 2009, he was reinstated by the NFL commissioner and signed a contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. By 2011, he was again one of the highest-paid players in the NFL. After retiring from football, Vick went on to become a sports analyst for Fox Sports. In 2017, he made his final $1.5 million payment for his bankruptcy debts. Allen Iverson. Hailed as one of the greatest pro basketball players of all time, Allen Iverson made headlines when it was revealed that he was going broke. While Iverson never officially filed for bankruptcy, the dicey details were uncovered during his 2012 divorce from wife Tawana. Despite earning $154 million over his 15-season career, it seems that his lavish lifestyle surpassed his hefty income. The court documents show that Iverson was spending $360,000 a month despite only making $750,000 in an entire year. What was he spending all that money on? Well, he was making monthly payments on an $860,000 debt to a jeweler. This was in addition to monthly payments of $10,000 on clothing, $10,000 on groceries, $5,000 on entertainment, and $1,000 for dry cleaning alone. And if that doesn't sound bad, his $4.5 million Atlanta mansion was also foreclosed upon. Diego Maradona. Both despised and adored, Diego Maradona has always been a controversial figure both on and off the soccer field. Dubbed the Hand of God after he famously scored a winning goal by punching the ball into the net, few were surprised when his assets were frozen in 2013. Maradona's career was filled with highs and lows. While playing for the Italian club Napoli, Maradona led his native Argentina's national soccer team to its second FIFA World Cup victory in 1986. But his Napoli career ended in 1991 when he tested positive for using drugs. And in 1994, he was sent home from the World Cup after his drug test came back positive for ephedrine. Years of heavy drug and alcohol abuse led him to have a heart attack in 2004. Alongside his expensive addictions, Maradona wasn't paying his taxes either. This outlaw soccer player's accounts were frozen by Italian authorities after they found that he owed them $53 million in back taxes. Terrell Owens. Throughout the course of his 15-season career, Owens became one of the highest-scoring wide receivers in NFL history. Earning over $80 million, T.O. played for 5 different teams. Unfortunately, he was slapped with nearly $150,000 in fines for his end zone antics. But these fines aren't what broke his bank. He claims that fiscal irresponsibility is what lost him his fortune, and he's come up with his own tips on how NFL players can keep their hard-earned funds. 1. Don't live beyond your means and buy stuff to be cool. Number 2. Don't always trust financial advisors. Number 3, if you don't understand everything about a financial deal, ask questions. And number 4, be smart about impulse purchases. Lenny Dykstra. Playing for both the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies, Dykstra was known for his tough personality both on the diamond and off. Sadly, a drunk driving incident and a series of other injuries forced him to retire in 1996. But this was just the beginning of Dykstra's career as a business investor. He started a company called the Players Club, which printed magazines that offered financial advice for wealthy professional athletes. But due to such a narrow market, Dykstra's hot temper, and unpaid employees, the venture soon folded. Dykstra then took his money and created an investment portfolio. By 2008, his net worth was valued at $58 million. But 1 year later, Dykstra filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. His rising debts coupled with failing investments left him with nothing. In 2012, he was convicted on multiple counts of fraud and spent 3 years in a California jail. John Daly. This natural talent managed to win his first major tournament on his first attempt in 1991, and he would go on to make history as the first PGA Tour player to average more than 300 yards per drive. But it seemed that Daly's personal life proved to be more newsworthy as his 4 failed marriages ended up turning into nasty court cases. Even more well-known were his addictions to alcohol, cigarettes, food, and gambling. Not only did his addictions cost him his cold, hard cash, but his drunken antics landed him over $100,000 in fines from the PGA. However, it seems that gambling is what truly stole Daly's fortune. He reports losing between $50 and $60 million to gambling. He even once lost $1.25 million in a single night. But Daly seems to be turning his life around. Spending time homeschooling his younger son, he has also returned to golfing and won his first tournament in 13 years in May 2017. Stu Unger. Earning over $30 million during his career, Unger was considered to be one of the greatest professional poker players of all time. And he was also the first to win 3 World Series of Poker titles. But his biggest achievement was also his greatest downfall, as Unger was found penniless and lifeless in his hotel room back in 1998, just 1 year after winning his last World Series title. While little is known about Unger's finances, his personal accounts seem to have always been up and down due to his gambling addiction. It's rumored that he lost all of his money in his last poker game before he passed away. And on November 22, 1998, this poker champion succumbed to a lifestyle-induced heart attack in his Las Vegas motel room. Evander Holyfield. Despite earning $230 million over a 26-year career, Holyfield lost everything by the time he retired in 2014. An Olympic medalist and the world's only 4-time heavyweight champion, Holyfield is also famous for winning a 1997 fight against Mike Tyson, who was disqualified for biting off Holyfield's ear. He continued on with his successful boxing career, but his financial troubles reportedly started in 1999. As he was divorcing his first wife, it was revealed that he had fathered 2 children out of wedlock. A series of messy divorces and nearly a dozen child support payments each month left Holyfield with little money left. After being declared bankrupt, Holyfield was evicted from his mansion and was forced to auction off his personal memorabilia to pay back his debts. Mike Tyson. It seems like that fateful match in 1997 was a curse for both men involved. Not only did Holyfield lose part of an ear and Mike Tyson lost the match, but both men lost their entire fortunes. Mike Tyson is famous for his reckless fighting style and his reckless spending. The extravagant celebrity is known for his off-the-cuff style and lavish digs. In 2003, Tyson filed for bankruptcy after accruing over $27 million in debt. Among his debts were lavish jewelry stores, a music producer, personal trainers, lawyers, financial advisors, child support payments, and the IRS. Things continued to get worse as he was later sentenced to prison for drug possession. But after nearly a decade of intense rehab, this celeb is sober and is nearly finished paying back his bankruptcy debts. George Best. George Best was one of Britain's first soccer stars. Born in Northern Ireland, Best was scouted and signed with Manchester United at the age of 17. Suddenly wrapped up in the world of fame, his playboy lifestyle quickly caught up with him, and he was often suspended for missing games. He ended up walking away from Manchester United in 1974 at 28 years old. But he continued to play for 11 more clubs before retiring in 1984. That same year, he was arrested for drunk driving and assaulting a police officer. He struggled with alcohol for the rest of his life and had infamous drunken bouts on British TV and numerous bouts of violence in local pubs. In 2005, George Best succumbed to liver failure at the age of 59. After filing for bankruptcy twice in his life, Best said that he spent all of his money on booze, women, and fast cars. Well, that's all for 10 athletes who sadly don't know how to take care of their money. Do you have any tips or tricks on how to keep your money in line? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.